Hello, friends. Um, Excited to share some cool things with you. This is fresh off the press. Is that the right saying? Hopefully it is. So I wanted just to share a memory that I was brought back to in my prayer time this morning. And back in 2007, I had decided to go on a missions trip to Uganda, East Africa. My pastor at that time, he would go every year. They started a orphanage there, so it was just something that he did. And that year, he had asked me to go, and I was 15 years old at that time. And so me and my mom both like kind of laughed when he asked, and because I thought I would never get on a plane and I would never go to Africa. I literally felt that. But later that night, I couldn't rest. It kept like coming to my mind. And so I just strongly felt like maybe I'm actually supposed to go. And so I go to my mom either that night or the next day, and I told her, I said, Mom, I think I'm supposed to go to Africa. And she laughed, actually. And I said, I'm serious. Like, I think God is calling me to go to Africa this year. And so that was in January of that year. And then we left in May of that same year. And my pastor, he was very honest. He said, I can't guarantee, her safety, because my best friend was going. She was 14. So he had these two young teenage girls with the whole team. And he was just honest with the parents and with us, and just about like their serious dangers there. And so my mom, for a good 5 months, was not at rest. She was not at peace. And this is secondhand, but I didn't necessarily experience it, but I can tell she was not excited, that she struggled with it for five whole months. And she said, she trusted God, and she was supportive. She helped me raise the funds and everything. But she said that she just did not want to let me go. She was scared of losing me. I'm the only girl, So the night before we left for Africa, she told me that she was driving to the church that night. She was alone. And she said when she turned on the road to the church, this long stretch of road, she said she heard a voice clear as day. She said it was almost like someone else was in that car with her. And she heard this audible voice tell her, trust me with your most precious gift, with your most precious thing. I'm going to take care of her. And just trust me with her. Release her to me. She said she felt instant peace. And so she did. She released me. She trusted God that he was going to protect me and he was going to be there with me. She trusted me so much that she didn't try to call me for those 3 weeks. And I didn't hear from my mom it was probably at least a week and a half or 2 weeks. And the only reason she called me that one time was because my best friend was talking to her mom like every day. And so I told her, tell my mom to call me. Like, I need to hear her voice. This was the first time I was away from my mom for ever. And so I was struggling. I'm like, I want my mom. I miss my mom. So my mom did call me that one time, literally in 3 weeks, one time. But she said that she didn't need a call. She didn't need a checkup on me because she knew God was taking care of me, that I was completely safe because God was with me. And I said, I'm glad you felt that way, because I didn't. So anyways, so that was brought to my memory, and the Holy Spirit just showed me there's this particular situation that I'm worried about. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the outcome. God is asking me to rest. He said there's no obligation to do, make no efforts towards it. I'm taking care of it. Just rest. And I haven't been resting well, guys. Like, I'm struggling, and my hands are all over it. I'm checking on it constantly. Like, what are you doing? What's going on? Is this really going to happen? And this morning, he showed me that memory, and he said, "You remember how much at peace she was?" And I said, "I do, and I want that." He said, "You can have it right now if you wanted to. Let it go. Release it to me. Trust." He said, "I'm going to tell you the same thing I told your mom. Trust me with your most precious item, your most precious thing. Hand it over to me, release it to me, and trust that I'm going to take care of it." And I had to, because there's nothing I can do about it. And I can't, I'm like, it's literally out of my control, but it's not out of his. And so, my friends, I want to just encourage you that I'm sure there's something in your life that you're holding on to. You're clinging for dear life because you don't want to lose it, or you don't want it to just blow up on you. You're not sure what's going to happen. You don't know what the outcome is. And the best thing we can do is release it into God's hands. Take our hands off of it, let it go, and let him have it. Let him do whatever he wants to do, whether it is removing it, or maybe he's taking it away for a while. He's going to better it, and he's going to give it back to us. I don't know, but I know that I trust God. I know that whatever the outcome is going to be, it's going to be so good, and I just have to release it to him. So I encourage you guys just to release things to God and let him take care of it. He can do so much more with it than we can. And that's really good news. It's so freeing. There's so much peace, so much joy that we can experience if we just let go. So be encouraged. If you need prayer, shoot them in the comments.